Namaskaram, everybody. I'm sorry. A lot of things are happening. Hold on. It's being recorded now. Let's start here. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Kṛṣṇa Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Nrsimha Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Hayavana Parabrahmane Namaha, Sarvam Shri Kṛṣṇa Arpanamastu. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
Yes.
Okay, and good. Okay. See, let me share with you the PowerPoint. One second. It should work now, I think. I guess you can see my PowerPoint, right?
Yes.
Good. Before we start, let me apologize here. See, when I study my grandfather's notes, and I have a manual, I have a manuscript at this point. I don't have a real book of my grandfather. I will show you my manuscript shortly. Then you know what is happening. Okay, look at this manuscript. I will try to show you what I'm studying. If you go back here, share. So look at the manuscripts I have in front of me. You can see it, right? This is, so in fact, I'm OCRing it, trying to convert into digital, and trying to understand if there's any scratches or something like that. If you look at this, you can see how he has written here and there, things are scratched and things like that. I have to make sense out of everything, and it's taking time. Okay. I guess you got what I'm trying to talk, what I'm trying to do. But
Understood.
yeah, but what I am also doing is I'm comparing it with, does it make sense? Or, maybe my grandfather made a mistake, right? So, so many things I have to process before I give you the information. That is one thing. Second thing is, I clearly see in certain places he does not accept Raṅgarāmānuja Bhāṣya, and he does his own Bhāṣya on the Upanishads. Then one might want to think, who is Sampath Iyengar, simple guy who is sitting in Chamarajpet, maybe he became a principal of Siddhiganga Institute. Who cares? Is he as celebrated as Raṅgarāmānuja? Raṅgarāmānuja is known as Upanishad Bhāṣyakara in the school of Vishishtadvaita Vedanta. Okay, so this person pops up somewhere in Bangalore or Mysore somewhere and suddenly disagrees with this great Acharya, Raṅgarāmānuja. This sounds heretic, sounds an offense. And if I tell this to even some followers of the schools of Raṅgarāmānuja, which is like they say Munitraya, they follow Munitraya. Munitraya is a sub-school of the Ramanuja Sampradaya. Many people know what Munitraya means. Today's Varaha Mahadeshikan, today's Thirukunanda Andavan, and all these great people are the acharyas of the lineage of the Munitraya. And if somebody, and even my own grandfather belonged to the Munitraya lineage, he has been initiated by acharyas of that lineage. So how can he go against his own lineage? There's something seriously could be wrong. So this question comes up even in my own mind. So I have to evaluate my grandfather, not just accepting what he says blindly, that would be stupid. He himself said that you can be an atheist, you can question anything I say, only when you're convinced, you accept. If you're not convinced, don't accept. So think about what is happening in my mind, right? So that is why we're going to go slow a little bit, but it's totally worth it. See, we have already finished about, I would say, something like 22 pages of 90 pages of his book. 22. Just a second, please. Just a second. Let me get to the. Okay. So 22 pages is quite a lot. And in fact, more than 22 pages. I would say we have finished much more than 22 pages. I would say, even if you say 22 pages, it doesn't matter, right? Just a second. Where did I go? Just a second. Let me get to my thing here. So out of his 90 pages, we have covered, say, even say 22 pages. I am sure some of the pages we cover would be much slower than some pages, because if I understand it well, we will cover very fast. But I don't want to give up on some complex things he's talking about, because he's very thorough, and I'm sure he's trying to make a very powerful point. That's why I'm slowing down. Is that, do you get what I'm trying to say? In short, we're going to study his his view carefully, because he's trying to make a point. And we only accept if it is convincing, or else we won't accept. So I'm studying it. It's going to go a little bit slow, but I'm sure you will all have some value out of it. Is that understood? Any comments? Questions?
Are you planning to point out where he is, where you suspected that, he is disagreeing, or he himself says where he is disagreeing?
No, I think he doesn't directly mention I'm disagreeing here, I'm disagreeing. He doesn't mention that way. I see that his Bhāṣya or his explanation goes other than what Raṅgarāmānuja wrote, and obviously other than what Śaṅkarācārya wrote. So that is where I'm seeing that, oh my God, this is, he's actually saying it differently from the Raṅgarāmānuja Bhāṣya, which is the traditional Viṣiṣṭadvaita Bhāṣya, right? So I can see it.
But this is
it is all right,
purely,
Kṛṣṇa.
it's a yogic point of view, right?
Yes,
It can be different.
it is a yogic point of view. He is bringing a new line of thought based on yoga. And in fact, he does not have any fear. He openly says, in the very beginning, I might have seen this in the Ishavasya Bhāṣya or the Kena Bhāṣya somewhere. He openly mentions that the traditional authors like Raṅgarāmānuja are very weak in talking about the yogic view. In fact, in the Ishavasya Upanishad, he says Kūra Bhāṣya seems better, and Raṅgarāmānuja Bhāṣya seems lacking in the yoga concepts. So he says that there is a big problem in the whole Viṣiṣṭadvaita if people don't understand everything in terms of yoga. And he is also very thorough in bringing Bhagavad Gītā and other Upanishads to his support. So and in fact, when he brings Bhagavad Gītā, he also brings Rāmanuja Bhāṣya there also, saying that, look, I am seeing the support from even the older authors, and here I think that Raṅgarāmānuja Bhāṣya is not very powerful. See, you should know, only Vedanta Deshika, who wrote among the Viṣiṣṭadvaita schools, wrote a powerful Bhāṣya or commentary on Ishavasya Upanishad. I don't think Raṅgarāmānuja wrote on Īśāvasya Upanishad. He left it. There were other later Vishishtadvaita authors, like Bhargava, Ramanuja, or some other person wrote Vishishtadvaita view of Īśāvasya Upanishad, definitely. But the most powerful writer among the Vishishtadvaitins is Vedanta Deshika, who is powerfully known as, who is well known as Vedanta Acharya. So if somebody represents Vishishtadvaita school very well, it is Vedanta Deshika. And there I think my grandfather doesn't have much a disagreement with Vedanta Deshika at all. He might add much more to it from the yoga school and also any yogic ideas he gets. I'm sure he adds even in the Īśāvasya Upanishad. We will look at it later. But here, I see a difference, and I'm going to talk about it. Eventually, when I go through this lecture, you will see why I am saying this. Let's go further. I guess you are seeing my screen. Okay.
Yes.
Where am I going? Hold on a second. Lecture 28. That's right. There's something wrong here. Just hold on. I don't know what happened. Just a second. I have the wrong file in front of me somehow. Just a second. Okay, I know where it is. No problem. Okay, what I have done here is, just to get the context for all of you, I have copied some slides from my previous class. So we'll just, about 4 or 5 slides are actually from the previous class, but that'll give you the context. That's why I didn't want to, start without a context. Okay. So what this is saying here is, this is covered earlier. Last class, yesterday we covered it. So Ātman is connected to life. It cannot be, it can't be fully free or control physical energy because we are stuck in this body. Ātman is always trying to be free, and the struggle shows up as our breathing. Only by trying to stop our breathing, we can start to control prana. So the breathing is the external expression of prana. So we need to control it. And we already talked about this urdhvam pranam unnayati apanam pratyagasati madhye vamanamasīnam vishve deva upasate. We meditate on the vishve deva in the middle. But actually what is happening is the prana is taking upwards, the apana is pulling downwards. This jiva is suffering between these two forces pulling up and down. And only by meditating on this Upanishad says something different. And the meditation is talking about some meditation. So what is this Ātman? It has to be seen as self-aware and intelligent. Self-aware is Swarupa Jñāna. In the Vishishtadvaita theory, there is something called as Swarupa Jñāna. What does Swarupa Jñāna means? We know we don't need proof to say, do I exist? We don't need proof. I know already that I exist. That is known as self-awareness. Self-awareness and intelligence. Intelligence is about external objects, about any object other than ourselves, right? Including knowledge, we can also direct Dharmabodha-Jnana inwards and say, who am I? So the thing is, we have this like almost like the analogy of the sun and its rays, or light and its luminosity. Luminosity is analogy of luminosity is Dharmabodha-Jnana. The light itself, the very source, that is Swarupa Jnana, or the Jivatma in a sense, the substance of Jivatma is that Swarupa. Right. So it's also known as substantive knowledge, because the Jnana Swarupa, it's not made of material, it is made of Jnana. So it has its own unique essence and signature and qualities. So, but the Ātman knowledge is limited because it can be overpowered by the physical energy around us. Okay. Now, what is the point of all this? The students want to know if there is a deity who can help him achieve his goals. That is the first part of the question. Now, to understand the next part, we need to know more about ourselves. Let's say there is a deity who can help us with pranayama. We have to pray to this deity, and our prayers have to be appealing. And who can help us express properly? Who is behind our speech? Because our speech is the expression of our mind. So who puts our eyes and ears together? Because we need to understand things properly. All objects in our world, nama rupa, name and form, we need to understand. So who keeps this together? Who unites our knowledge from the eyes and ears? But God is beyond our experience. What we see, what we hear, is not God. If we knew that we saw God, we will not be distracted. We will not be attracted by these physical pleasures or any material pleasures. Material attraction will go away if we had seen God. So God is something beyond our normal experience. It is divine. And what we know in the material world is not divine. And we are subject to sukha and dukkha, despair, hopelessness, this, so many fear, and everything comes here. If we had seen God, how could we have any fear? So there is there is a limitation in our knowledge of our external world, because we cannot see something. So divine energy cannot be possessed through non-divine means. Īśāvasya Upanishad says, look, everything is pervaded by this Ishvara. He is the indwelling, he is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. And he is reliable. You can rely on him, he will help you. So spiritual practice or upasana and jnana, whatever we do, somehow is missing the understanding of this divine experience. Divine experience is personal and indescribable. So the student has to accept the authority of the Acharya. Even that is being said secretly in the Īśāvasya Upanishad. In one part of the Īśāvasya Upanishad, it says the word dhira is used. And the same word dhira is used in Kena Upaniṣad. Iti dhiranam shushruma yenastad vyacha chakshire. That is in the 10th shloka of Īśāvasya Upanishad. We'll come back to it. I'll show that to you. So there are this dhira. The teachers are dhiras. Dhiras are with powerful intelligence, not ordinary intelligence. They shine in their intelligence. They're happy in their intelligence. They have found some higher intelligence. Our intellect is limited. So we know that we need the help of our teachers, and also the grace. Divine grace is necessary. Now, yesterday we stopped in this slide, and I asked a question. Look, some portions of the Upanishad gives an idea that mind cannot reach Brahman. It says, Yato vacho nivartante aprāpya manasa saha. This is the Taittiriya Upanishad. That means Brahman is beyond mind or speech. But in another Upanishad says, opposing this, manasaivedam aptavyam neha nanasti kinchana. I think this is in Mundaka, I think. I will refer that to Kata Upanishad also. It's in Kata Upanishad also. Manasaivedam aptavyam. Only through mind this Brahman needs to be understood or attained. There's a contradiction here. What is that contradiction? I wanted to think about it. We'll see, this is the contradiction my grandfather is trying to address. Let's see how he addresses. There is also a question he poses. Divine nature transcends human comprehension and reasoning. Upasana and Jnana cannot fully reveal the divine. He says that. Why does he say that? Because that seems a little bit counterintuitive to Vishishtadvaita, and that's what I want to know. And he will clarify somewhere else. In the text, he doesn't clarify in that particular area. So I'm just figuring out where he clarifies. Divine experience remains personal and indescribable. That he states very clearly. So student must accept teacher's authority and also believe in a divine grace. Only that can help him. Any question? Okay. So I have mentioned this earlier. Manasai Vedam aptavyam neha nanasti kinchana mrityosya mrityum apnoti yaiha naneva pashyati. This is in the that is actually a different verse. That is not the Taittiriya Upanishad. I made a mistake here. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasaha. This is the Taittiriya Upanishad. The first one is not Taittiriya Upanishad. That is probably Kata Upanishad. There is a contradiction. Now, we'll take a small break and look into Śaṅkara Bhāṣya. Why am I looking into Śaṅkara Bhāṣya now? I want to understand the mind of Sampath, as is he referring to Śaṅkara Bhāṣya somewhere, or is he trying to pick up some information from Śaṅkara Bhāṣya? That is my question in my mind. So I'm trying, before understanding Sampath view, I want to understand Śaṅkara Bhāṣya here. 1 second. So this is the second verse. Shrotrasya Shrotram. This is the verse of the Kena Upaniṣad. Shrotrasya Shrotram manaso mano yad vachoha vacham sa upranasya pranaha. So the thing is, that Brahman is behind the ears, eyes, mind, and even behind the prana. So the power behind it, right? Chakshushash chakshuha Atimucya dhiraha pretyasma lokad amrita bhavanti. It is the eye of the eye. And what does Śaṅkarācārya says? I'm only worried about this. Atimucya dhiraha pretyasma lokad amrita bhavanti. What does Atimucya mean for Śaṅkarācārya? We covered this long time back. I'm trying to remind you and also remember myself. Jñātva Atimucya. Jñātva means knowing. Iti samartyat shrotrādikarana kalapa mujjhitva. Shrotrādau hi atmabhavam krutva. Tadupadihi sanne. Tadatmana jayate mriyate samsarate cha. Atah shrotradehe shrotradi lakshanam brahmatmeti viditva. Atimucya shrotradi atmabhavam parityajya. This is Atimucya means for him, give up the idea that your ear, mind, and others are Ātman. Your ear is not Ātman. Your mind is not Ātman. Your eyes are not Ātman. So the thing is, when I see, oh, eye is seeing, eye is not seeing, Ātman is not I. So give up the idea that your senses are Ātman. Te dhīrāha. So ye shrotrādi atmabhavam parityajanti te dhīrāha. People who give up the idea that the senses are same as Brahman or Ātman, They are the dhīrā, dhīmantaha, the people with intellect. Nahi vishishta dhi matva mantarena shrotra atma bhavaha shakya paritaktam. Unless you have a special knowledge of Ātman, you will not know. You think that, oh, my eyes are seeing, eye is seeing, ears are hearing. You think that these themselves do the whole job. But only when you know that there is Ātman behind it, then you know the truth. Pretya, vyavritya, asman lokat. Here, the Śaṅkarācārya takes the loka as the connection or attachment to son, spouse, friend, and belongings. Mama ahambhava samhara vyavahara lakshanate. That is the whole idea of, it is mine, I am this, I am that, ego, pride, and everything, because we have this connection to everything around us. So the thing is, you give up that life of connection, that is the loka. And amrita amara dharmanaha bhavanti, you will become deathless. Amara dharmanaha, no marana. Amarana dharmanaha. So you will become deathless by giving up the loka. Pretya asman loka. The pretya, the word he says, maybe giving up the final body, everything is okay for Śaṅkarācārya here. So you know what Śaṅkarācārya is saying? Atimucya means giving up the wrong knowledge that the senses are Ātman. That is the idea. Is the Śaṅkara Bhāṣya clear for all of you?
Yes,
But
it's very clear.
one question is there. It is true that we don't need any help, that we are self-aware. That much is true. But at the same time, this basic question is asked because we are also sure that we are not ourselves the driving force for all the functionalities of the ear, eye, and everything.
True.
Right?
True.
So why Śaṅkarācārya does not take it like that?
He does, right? I don't see the difference.
It is basically more of giving up the adhyasa, actually.
No, I am only giving the portion of Śaṅkarācārya's line here. I have not given the Shrotra Shashotram Manaso Mano. There is a lot more Śaṅkara Bhāṣya behind us. Not
only Śaṅkarācārya. Even if you take naturally the question, like we are sure that we are self-aware, but we are also sure that we are not the people. I mean, we are not having the power to drive all the activities. So that is why we are asking the question: who is the Deva?
Yes. I am not very sure what your question is. These acharyas are not going very much against what you're saying.
I didn't understand the question itself.
Yeah.
I didn't understand.
No, I'm trying to understand the Upanishad statement naturally as it is, because the student is asking the Guru that who is the cause for all these things, for the ear to hear, eye. So he is very much sure that he is not the cause. Student is not the cause for his own ear to hear and eyes to see. So he sees that there is some other force. So, but he is clear that he is self-aware. For that, he doesn't have any objection. But at the same time, he knows that he is not the directing power.
True. See, the first one, Keneshitam Patule,
right? He means what? In both the sentence, he means what? Who? He means who? One knows self-knowledge and he is not capable.
Yeah, the student.
In both sentences, who is the who?
The questioner himself. The questioner himself.
See, because the student is asking...
is not self-aware. The questioner himself is not fully self-aware. Little bit of awareness is there that I am hearing through the ears. Little bit of awareness, not the full knowledge of Atma. We don't have the full knowledge of our own Atma.
At this point of time, we can just tell we are aware. How do we know that we are full aware or half aware? That is not a thing.
What you are aware? Awareness means what? Full. 100% awareness. It
No,
is
no,
not there.
awareness. No, we are aware. That's all I'm trying to tell. It is not like how we are
We
aware.
are aware that everybody knows, but we are not aware of ourselves fully, 100%.
No, though we are aware of our.
Only a partial awareness.
He's not worried about whether we know ourselves 100% or not. Okay, he's only worried that we are just self-aware. That I know that I exist. Okay?
Yes, that's true.
That is sufficient. That's not important here, according to the person here, right? See, Suresh is saying, if I understand right, we don't. Suresh, restate the question now that we understood something about your question.
Yeah, all I'm trying to tell is the student is asking a very simple question that I mean, there is an implication that he when he's telling who is directing the ear, functionalities of the ear, eye, there is an implication that I know that all these things are functioning. I know I am also aware of myself, but still I am feeling that I am not the person who is directing all these things. There is another power.
Fine. Yes. There is no question about it.
Yes. Now, here, when we, yeah.
That so all this is agree. Whatever you're saying, all acharyas agree.
Correct. But when you see Śaṅkara's view, Śaṅkara's Bhāṣya, when you showed that, where there he is very clear that the directing power is we ourselves actually, who is the consciousness.
No, wait a minute. See, this line is only explaining this portion, Pretyas Atimucya Diraha only. This only a portion of Śaṅkara Bhāṣya. Prior to that, Śaṅkara is clearly saying there is a power behind the ear, there is a power, that is the power behind the manas, that is the power behind the speech, that is the power behind the prana and things like that. He talks about it. So all these work only because of the Brahman, Ātma is there. Ātma is the power there. That he talks about already.
True, but in a sense, the Ātman is we ourselves, right? Consciousness, according to Śaṅkara.
See, the details are unknown. What is that Ātman? Is he knowable and things like that? We don't know what the nature of that Ātman is not very well known. Otherwise, what is the point of this Upanishad? There is so much of explanation of that itself in the rest of the Kena Upaniṣad, right?
That is true, but even then, even if we don't know ourselves, like the way Śaṅkarācārya has told, as the real Ātman itself, still, even though we don't know, just like he said,
we cannot simply say Ātma, right? Like, we have to say Paramatma.
No, here we are talking about Śaṅkara Bhāṣya.
Details about
there is no difference. In Śaṅkara Bhāṣya, there is only one Ātman. So don't worry.
Yeah.
See,
so it means even though the student is ignorant that he is the Brahman or Ātman, still by its own nature, the Ātman is functioning as it is. Naturally, it is driving everything.
That also he doesn't know, otherwise there is no question. See, in this, according to Śaṅkara Bhāṣya, we are only talking about Śaṅkara Bhāṣya here. In Śaṅkara Bhāṣya, he doesn't know what is driving all these senses. And the answer is Shrotrasya Shrotram. There is a power behind each of these senses. That's what is the second thing. So one has to know the Ātman, which is the driving force. That's not the real point here. What I'm trying to make a point here is the senses are not the Ātma. We are misunderstanding that the senses are the Ātma. Senses are only the adjuncts, upadhis of Ātma. And so the thing is, we have to give up that the sense is Ātman. Giving it up, parityajya, they are the intelligent ones. So the wrong knowledge is thinking that our mind and senses are the Ātma. And when you give it up, you are a dhira. Then once you give up, Ātma is not related to the body mind. Anybody related to body like son, a spouse, and all. What do you call? Give up the attachment. Once there is no attachment, Tyakta sarveshanaha amrita amritarmanaha bhavanti. They will become immortal. Death will not touch them. There is nothing, I don't see anything wrong or any difficult. There is no difficulty here. I am only trying to say, what does Atimucya mean for Śaṅkarācārya? Atimucya means giving up the wrong knowledge. That's all. Let's go further. I don't think there is a problem. I don't want to get stuck here. Okay. Now look at how Sampatangar looks at this. Shrotrasya Shrotram, Manaso Mano. The same verse. This verse describes Brahman as the ultimate source behind all sensory mental faculties, ear of ear, mind of mind, speech of speech, etc. This is understandable. This is acceptable. It states that the wise Dhiraha who transcend these 5 knowledge instruments become immortal, amritaha, after final death. We'll come to the point of what the final death means later on, right? There are many deaths. There is a final death. And going beyond the phenomenal world. This is very important. Okay? What does phenomenal world mean? And what does dhiraha according to him mean? This is what is important. So what he is saying is, those who transcend the 5 knowledge instruments. Instruments are indriyas. What does this transcending mean? This is where the whole issue is. The way he takes it is different. He says that it is not the wrong knowledge. In the Chakshusha Chakshuho Atimucya Dhiraha. Atimucya means only transcend. In the transcend, is there any what is the wrong knowledge is not mentioned here. So he does not accept Śaṅkara Bhāṣya here. Original does not have any transcending of the wrong knowledge is not mentioned in the original sentence. Atimucya means only transcending. Transcending the sensory universal experience. So the thing is, one has to go beyond what we know through the senses. Whatever we know through the senses seem to be very, very Vishaya oriented, that is object oriented. There's something beyond all these sensory experiences or physical experiences, material experiences. What is that? Let's see how Sampatangar takes it. So first of all, he makes a big difference here. Dhiraha means, what does dhira mean in Sanskrit? Dhiya ramante iti dhiraha. I should have written this down. I did not write it. Ordinary intellect is dhi. Ordinary intellect is dhi, but there are some people who delight in intelligence. They're super intelligent, and they are the dhiras. It distinguishes between pure knowledge and intellect. See, there is what is intellect and what is pure jnana. That's very important. Pure jnana is when mind is completely controlled. Mind and senses are completely controlled. Then it is pure knowledge. If it is not controlled, even the knowledge expresses itself as buddhi or intellect only. So when we talk about ordinary...
Excuse me. Controlled by whom? Controlled by the jiva or by...
Don't worry. No, don't worry about when it is controlled. Just say it's controlled due to grace of Lord or his jiva. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
When the senses and mind are controlled, then the knowledge becomes pure, and that becomes jnana. Otherwise, it is intellect. So our intellect is somewhat it has influence of our mind and senses. It is not pure knowledge, pure jnana. So what this author here is trying to separate, Sampatangar is separating is, there is something, jnana becomes pure when it is not influenced by your mind and senses. And what is the ordinary intellect? Jnana appears as buddhi. The word buddhi is intellect. And the buddhi is buddhi. Jnana appears as buddhi when filtered through the mind. So the mind, jnana is very powerful. See, this is a very powerful concept. See, according to Vishishtadvaita theory also, he says, look, our jnana is constrained now. Karma constrains it. Purva karma, whatever we did in the past, our samskaras constrain it. Our mind, because mind holds all the samskaras, it is constraining our knowledge. Suppose this constraint is taken, dharmabhuta jnana becomes infinite, and that's what happens in moksha. In the Vishishtadvaita theory, what it is, in moksha, our constraints are, the coverings are removed. When the coverings are removed, when like how the clouds are dispersed and you see the sun, you see the truth. And in moksha, you see the truth, because the knowledge can go into infinity. So the mind is a covering. So now, because mind cannot be removed, our intelligence, which could be potentially infinite, is constrained as limited, and that is known as ordinary intellect. And it is like fire appearing on fuel. When you put some kerosene or something like an inflammable liquid or something and throw a matchstick, you see the flame. But that is just an expression of the heat, right? Pure heat cannot be seen. For example, when the sunlight is coming through space, only when there are particles you see the particles. Oh my God, the sunlight is coming through. Heat is also coming, right? But heat is not recognizable unless there is a body which is becoming hot. Similarly, the mind is lightened up, mind is energized by jnana. And what we are seeing is the glow of the mind, which is intellect. So intellect is of the lower form. This is a very general theory, acceptable even to many other systems of thought. Okay? So,
Can I tell something if what I felt?
Tell me if it is short, because I want to have everybody
Short only. Because the mind and intellect are the products of Prakriti. They are inert. They will not give you the full knowledge of Ātman as it is.
True.
Ātma is self-knowable. But
True.
because it is limited by Prakriti called mind and intellect, it cannot know fully about itself.
See, there is only one small difference here. There is a difference between intellect and mind. Okay?
Yes. Intellect is Buddhi, mind is Manas. Both are inert. They are product of Prakriti. Prakriti cannot give you full knowledge of Ātma.
So there is a problem here. Okay? What it is Buddhi, intellect, is not fully Prakriti. Buddhi is inert. That is Dharmabhuta Jnana. Dharmabhuta Jnana is constantly associated with Jivatma in the Vishishtadvaita theory. And that
is true. Swarupa Jnana is different.
Swarupa Jnana is different. Dharmabhuta Jnana is also eternal. They're eternally connected. You cannot separate out Dharmabhuta Jnana from the Swarupa.
Eternally connected, because when we are associated with the body, once you are released from the body, Dharmabhuta Jnana, Swarupa Jnana, everything becomes one.
No. That is wrong. Not according to Vishishtadvaita theory.
I don't know. But what I felt, I told that. So.
No, whatever you express does not correspond to Ramanujacharya's view or
Vishishtadvaita view. Vishishtadvaita view, it may not correspond.
Correct.
That I agree.
Okay, what I am saying is good that you brought this question, because that will also clarify other people's view here, right? Vishishtadvaita clearly believes that Jivatma, even if it is separated from Prakriti, the person Shuddha Jivatma becomes different. It can go even to the outskirts of Vaikuntha. In Vaikuntha itself, we know that it is Sarupya, Salokya, Sayujya, and there are different levels in Vaikuntha, right? There, the Prakriti goes away. When the moment it goes into Vaikuntha, the Prakriti or material goes away. But still, there, the Jivatma and the Dharmabhuta Jnana exist. Only thing, the limitation on the Dharmabhuta Jnana is removed. So it is effulgent in moksha. And only through Dharmabhuta Jnana, a Jivatma experiences pleasure and bliss in moksha according to Vishishtadvaita. This should be clearly understood. This will become clearer later. Okay, let us get to this point here, because I don't want to miss out on the main concept I want to talk about today.
Only one point I have to, the Dharmabhuta Jnana and Swarupa Jnana are the qualities of Atma only, no?
Swarupa Jnana is Atman itself, that is the substance.
But
That is
Dharmabhuta
not
Jnana also.
the Swarupa Jnana is not a quality. That is the very nature
No,
of the Jiva.
no. Swarupa itself, okay. But
Oh.
Dharmabhuta Jnana is also in the Atma only, no?
Yes.
Not in the Prakriti.
Not in the Prakriti.
So both becomes one when he gets realized, when he Atimucya, when he goes, he will realize, then both becomes one. He
They
will
don't
enjoy.
become one. They are always separate. Prabha Prabhavato Riva. Sun does not become sunlight. Sun and sunlight are different according to this one, right? According to Vishtadvaita. You're talking about sunlight are same in some other system of thought like Advaita or something.
No, I don't know. I never thought.
Excuse me.
No.
Let us take this outside our conversation, because if it goes more than 10 minutes of conversation, we will lose the whole point of the class.
Okay.
We'll stop this, please. Okay. The text emphasizes that Jnana and mind are distinct substances. Jnana using mind as fuel becomes Buddhi. So Jnana is a generic entity. Swarupa Jnana, Dharmabhuta Jnana is now here. Jnana may only refers to Dharmabhuta Jnana, not Swarupa Jnana. So Dharmabhuta Jnana and mind are distinct substances. Mind is material. Jnana is not material. Okay, but Jnana expresses itself through the mind as Buddhi. It gets limited through the mind as Buddhi. So all our intellect is limited, because our Buddhi can be influenced by Purva Karma also, our Purva Karma, or even the state of our body, like somebody sleeping or not so alert or something like that. It all affects our intelligence. So that is why there is Sadbuddhi, Durbuddhi, good intellect and bad intellect, right? So intellect is still in the physical zone, material zone. But mind can be pure or impure. And when the mind becomes pure, intellect can reveal essential purity of true knowledge. So mind has to be pure. See, this is the answer given to the contradiction given earlier. That means, manasai vedamattavyam. We don't have a choice. Only through mind you can attain this Brahman. But what kind of mind? Pure mind. So when mind is impure, mind can never reach Brahman. Mind is beyond, Brahman is beyond mind when mind is impure. When mind is very pure, there's a possibility that we can know something about Brahman. Let's see how much we can know. This is where the problem is. But the contradiction is removed, right? Okay. Now, Anyadevahu sambhavat, Anyadahu asambhavat, iti shushruma dhiranam yenastad vyachachikshire. The word dhira is used first in the Ishavasya Upanishad in this verse, right? I think 13th verse in the Ishavasya Upanishad. Just wanted to mention that there is this word. Okay, Pritya is final death. One transcends the phenomenal world completely. We need to understand what is phenomena, what is noumena. This word phenomena is that which you experience through sense perception and mind perception. That which is understandable through senses and mind is phenomena. Again, the word phenomena, you have to understand, it comes from philosophy in English. Kant's philosophy talk about phenomena and noumena. What is noumena? Noumena, he says that which cannot be understood through senses or mind is noumena. That's what Kant says. There is so much about this Kant. Even the later philosophers who try to understand Kant cannot understand what Kant is saying about, because he did not explain phenomena, noumena completely. There's a problem there. But What does noumena roughly mean? Is noumena is something which can be only, it's like God or Jivatma or something which is beyond our sense and mind perception. That's what Kant suggested in his philosophy, and then he's using the same term phenomena. In English, if you explain, right, you will have to use English terms, and it has got some context to it. Unfortunately, the word phenomena used in science is slightly different. Phenomena used in nature science is different. In biology, it is different. Even in social phenomena, even that word phenomena means different. Social phenomena, it could be group psychology or something like that. So we got to be very careful when we use English terms. This is why I got very confused about what my grandfather was writing as phenomena. And I know from my experience that grandfather was mentioning Kant's philosophy, the word phenomena, how he uses it. That is in Wikipedia also. So phenomena means any relation to the external world where we communicate with the external world through mind and senses. That you can transcend when, this is where Śaṅkarācārya differs, and my grandfather says, you go beyond the sensual knowledge. Then you can go. And how? Through Sāttvika Buddhi. Why is my grandfather looking at this in this way? He goes back and says, look, Jnana can be corrupted. Where is it said it is corrupted? Because it is subject to gunas. Where is it said? He goes back and says, let us get the meaning from Lord Kṛṣṇa himself, who is the authority, who is respected by all acharyas, Śaṅkarācārya, Madhvacārya, Raṅgarāmānuja, and everybody. What does Kṛṣṇa say? Jnanam karmata karta cha trideva guna vedata. This goes all the way, but next verse he says, Sarvabhuteshu enaikam bhavam avyayamikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu tadjnanam vidhi sattvikam. Sarvabhuteshu enaikam bhavam avyayamikshate. What that is, what jnana shows you, Sarvabhuteshu, in all beings, enaikam bhavam, one aspect, avyayam, unchanging aspect, avibhaktam, undivided aspect, vibhakteshu, but given it is surrounded by differences and demarcations in this world. That jnana which unifies vidhi sattvikam, that jnana is sattvika, which sees oneness in this multiplicity, right, in rough terms. Prithaktvena tvajnanam, when you separate, oh, this is bad, this is poor, he is poor, I am rich, I am better, he is worse. All these differences, if you see, that is Rājasa. Prithaktvena tvajnanam nana bhavan prithakvinan vetti sarveshu bhuteshu tadjnanam vidhi Rājasam. That jnana in all the beings, vetti sarveshu bhuteshu means in all beings, the knower knows these differences. If the knower knows the differences, his knowledge or her knowledge is actually Rājasic. Yattu Kṛṣṇa vade kasmin karye saktam haitukam atatvarthavat alpam cha tat tamasam udahratam. Yattu Kṛṣṇa, if you think that there is a small part is the big part, oh, that is everything. And if he gets involved in some minor detail and he never finishes the minor detail and he keeps on delaying, that is a tamasic view, laziness, which thinks that the small part is the big part. Knowing a very little, he thinks that he knows everything. Atatvartha, he doesn't understand that properly. And that knowledge is tamasa. So jnana can be sattvika, rajasika, tamasika. The pure jnana is that when the mind is sattvic. The original commentary, I thought that what is this? Śaṅkarācārya seems to take it as, if the person who sees Ātman in everything, and Ramanujacharya takes it, Bhūteshu, slightly different. What is the difference between these two acharyas? I started wondering. For the same verse, Sarvabhuteshu enaikam bhavam avyayamikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu tadjnanam vidhi sattvikam. So this is about Sattvika Jnana, and Śaṅkarācārya and Ramanujacharya sort of differ here. What is the difference? Śaṅkarācārya says, Sarvabhuteshu avyaktādi sthavaranteshu bhuteshu yena jnanena ekam bhavam vastu bhava was Shabdaha Vastuvachi. Look at the Eva. If Bhava is said, Śaṅkarācārya takes Bhava as Vastu. Ekam Atma Vastu ityartaha. That the person who sees one Ātman in everything. Here the word Bhava doesn't support Śaṅkara Bhāṣya that much. But he says you should take Bhava as actually object. What is the Atma Vastu? One object Atma. Avyayam navyeti, that doesn't change. Swatmanad Swadharmaina va Kūtastam ityartaha ikshate, that is unchangeable. Like the anvil, which doesn't change even if you beat the iron on top after the iron is red hot. Right? Kūtastha is that. Ikshate, pashyati, yena jnanena. So if somebody is seeing some jnana, what jnana is that? Tam cha bhavam avibhaktam pratideham vibhakteshu deha vedeshu na vibhaktam tat atmavastu. Say the thing is that is not separated out. Even there are different dehas, there are different bodies are there, but still that is undivided. Na vibhaktam tat atmavastu vyomavat nirantaramite. It is all pervading like the sky. Tat jnanam sakshat samyak darshanam. So that is the jnanam. Sakshat samyak darshanam advaitatma vishayam sattvikam vidhi. That is the Sāttvika Jñāna. Yani Dvaita Darshanani tani asamyak bhutani rajasani tamasani chaiti na saksha samsarochyate bhavanti. This Sāttvika and Rājasika Rājasika and Tamasika knowledge will not let you get out of this universe. They will tie you back into this universe. So this is the one which is the releasing knowledge from this world. That's what Śaṅkarācārya takes it. So basically, you see Ātman in everything. That is Śaṅkarācārya's view. The same thing is slightly differently quoted by, understood by Ramanujacharya. He says, look, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Brahmachari, Grihastadi, Rupena, Vibhakteshu, Sarveshu, Bhuteshu. The beings are all separated. Here the beings would be human beings. The human beings are separated into Brahmana, Kshatriya, the Brahmachari, Grihastha, and Varna, Ashrama. There are separations there. Karmadhikarishu. All these Sarveshu Bhuteshu means he takes it in a limited sense. Whoever has got the karma, adhikara to perform the Vedic activities. Yena jnanena ekakaram atmakyam bhavam tatra api avibhaktam. So even the bodies may be Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and all those things. There is one Ātman which is undivided. There is the same Ātman in everybody. Similar Ātmans in everybody. And that as bhava becomes more, atmakyam bhava means the ideology here. And the word bhava supports Rāmanuja Bhāṣya because it is not vastu, it is not one entity. It is the ideology of oneness of Atman everywhere. Brahmanatvadi anekākāreshu apitu bhuteshu sita dirghādi vibhāgavatsu. Somebody may be a small, big and all. Yanaikākāram atmanam vibhāgarahitam. The jivatma in each does not have any differentiation. Jivatma is one. Remember, only Dvaitins say Jivatmas have different classes. Vishishta Advaitins accept that whether it is in the body of the worm, the tiger, human being, dog eater, dog, or the Jivatma inside a fish, or even Devata like Indra, Chandra, or some what do you call Varuna, Rudra, doesn't matter. The Jivatmas are all similar. Avyayam, Vyayasvabhaveshu, api Brahmanadi Sharireshu avyayam. The bodies will change, but this is unchanging one sitting in each body. Avyayam, avikritam, paladi, sangha, anarham cha, karmadikara khelayam, karmadikara khelayam, ikshate, tadjnanam sattvikam vidhi. So think it, the Jivatma is not expected to have fruits or any sangha, which is asangha. That means it is unconnected to the body. Whatever jnana which makes you see this is Sāttvika Buddhi, Sāttvika Jñāna. That's how Ramanujacharya says. There's a slight difference between Śaṅkara Bhāṣya and Rāmanuja Bhāṣya here. I was looking at it. What is the context? Notice the context here. In the 18th verse, the verse just before the verse, what is it? Jnanam, Jnayam, Parijñāta, Trivida, Karma Chodana. Karanam, karma, karteti, trividaha karma sangraha. So, Jnana, Jñeya, Parijñata, these are three aspects of Jnana. Karma Chodana, knowledge pushes you into action, right? Karma Chodana, that means these are all related to the karmas in the Shastras. Karanam, karma, karteti, trividaha, karma sangraha. What does action involve? It involves the instruments of action like body and all. It involves karma, the real action, and the karta, the doer. So there are three mentioned here. Jnana, karma, cha, karta, cha, tridhaiva, gunabhedataha. All three, jnana, karma, and karta, all these are separated into three types based on guna. Prochate gunasankhyaane yathavat shrunutanyapi. So the thing is, this is the nature of how the jnana, karma, and karta are separated out into three different categories based on Sāttvik, Rājasic, and Tamasic. But the Sāttvik is explained here. That is the one thing in avibhaktam vibhakteshu tatjnanam vidhi sattvikam. Because they are talking about human bodies here, that is karma, karta, and all human bodies, Raṅgarāmānuja takes it as this context refers to the oneness of idea, oneness of substance in each of these and classes of different types of people who have different types of eligibility to do different types of works. That's how he takes it more towards contextual meaning. Śaṅkarācārya takes it in a slightly different universal meaning, and that is a very general approach of Śaṅkarācārya. Just wanted to be clear here, right? Then, what does Jnana, according to, see, Sampath Iyengar does a lot of research on what is the context here, right? He says that how is this human Jnana related to Kṛṣṇa? Is there any relation between human Jnana and Kṛṣṇa? Are we looking at only human Jnana as just, oh, can I understand? Can I not understand? Is knowledge pure according to connectivity with mind or not pure? But what else is true about Jnana? How does this Jnana come from? What Sampath Iyengar is trying to say, understand the complete picture in the context. Is Jnana related to Kṛṣṇa? Is our Jnana related to Kṛṣṇa? How is my Jnana related to Kṛṣṇa? Figure that out. He says, look at the 10th chapter from Shloka 10.2 to 10.8. The original verses are this. What are the original verses? Name vidussuraganaha prabhavam na maharshayaha. This is an amazing verse. This set of verses are very powerful. 10th chapter. You need to remember this. Name vidussuraganaha prabhavam na maharshayaha. Kṛṣṇa says, even the greatest of the devatas like Indra don't know me. My true, my nature, how did I come up and everything? Prabhavam na maharshayaha. My glories and all. Even the maharshis don't know. Aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashaha. I am the first among the devatas and maharshis. Yo mam ajamanadim cha vetti loka maheshwaram. Who knows that I am unborn, unending, not ending, mam ajam anadim, unborn, there is no beginning for me, vetti loka maheshwaram, I am the universal Lord. Asammudaha sammatyeshu sarvapapaihi vimuchyate. He becomes not deluded. That means he will be released by all delusions. His knowledge becomes true. Samartyeshu sarva papaihi vimuchyate. All sins and papas go away. So his restrictions on his jnana goes away. That is why he becomes not deluded. Buddhi. Then second thing comes and says, Buddhi, jnanam, asamohaha, kshama, satyam, damaha, shamaha. Dukkham, sukham, dukkham, bhavo, abhavaha, bhayam, cha bhayameva cha, ahimsa, samata, tushtihi, tapo, dhanam, yasho, yashaha. All these things, bhavanti bhava bhutanam matayeva pratagvidaha. Only because of me, Kṛṣṇa says, people's buddhi were intellect, their jnana. Buddhi and jnana are separated out here. Pure jnana is jnana, buddhi is that which goes through the mind. Asammohaha. absence of delusion, Kshama, forbearance, Satyam, truth, Damaha, Shamaha, mind and Indriya control, happiness, unhappiness, sorrow, Bhavo, Abhavaha, Bhayam cha, Bhayameva cha, all fear and no fear and all these things are controlled by me. Only because of me it happens. Ahimsa, Samata, Tushti, even the nature of non-injury to others. Samata, Tushti, having equanimity, happiness, Tapo, Jnanam, Yesho, Yashaha, fame and infamy. Why people give charity? Because I am making them give charity. I am making them famous or infamous. All these things occur because of me. That's what Kṛṣṇa says. Bhavanti bhava bhutanam, all the emotions and everything, experiences in all the beings occur due to me. Mattayeva pratagvidaha. Maharshyaha saptapurve chatvaro manavasata. Well, you talk about all the Maharshis and seven Maharshis and all. And the 4 Manus, they were born out of me. Madbhava manasa jataha. They were born out of my mind. Yeah, they understand my mind because they are born out of my mind. Yesham loka ime prajaha. They started this progeny of these universal beings. Etam vibhūtim cha yogam cha mamayo veti tatvataham. Knowing this Aishwarya, this is my wealth. What is my wealth? I control everybody's emotions, everybody's power, capability, Jnāna, Buddhi, everything like that. Vibhūtim yogam cha mama yo vetti tattvataha. Who knows my wealth like this? So avikampena yogena yujjate. He will have firm, unshakable yoga, bhakti yoga. Yujjate natra samshayaha. So when will a person have unshakable faith in Kṛṣṇa? When he knows that Kṛṣṇa is the all-powerful person. And how is that easy to know that Kṛṣṇa is all-powerful? Even Arjuna had doubts. Arjuna had seen so many other people and he had doubts. So for ordinary people, how can they know Kṛṣṇa as all-powerful? So unless you know him as all-powerful, you will never become a true bhakta of him. You will not be convinced that he is the power. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam bhuda bhava samanvitaha. What is this yoga? Avikampena yoga, unshakable yoga. Because only when they know that I am, from me everything comes out, I am the origin of everything, only knowing that iti matva bhajante mam bhuda bhava samanvitaha, they pray to me, they worship me, knowing this. So once they know, they have to worship. Why? Because they are not the boss. And all their fears, their problems, if any human being is fully content, he doesn't need God, right? Why does he need God? Only when human beings have issues, old age, death, diseases, poverty, mental problems, physical problems, then, oh my God, I need some power to help me out. Otherwise, and also when they know that Kṛṣṇa is that power, they know and they will bhajante. That is why this yoga is bhakti yoga. Mam bhuda bhava samanvitaha. They automatically worship. With bhava samanvitaha, they are not faking anything. With true intent, true spirit of worship, they worship. This is a very important sloka of the 10th sloka, which is known as Vibhūti-yoga. Why does Sampataka brings this? Remember this. That's what he is saying. Bhagavad Gītā is already telling you this. And this is exactly what is explained in only short 18 verses of the Ishavasya Upanishad. Ishavasya Upanishad has 18 verses, which are actually the summary of the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gītā. That is why Ishavasya Upanishad is so powerful. It gives you the entire summary of Bhagavad Gītā. So that is mentioned here. How is our intellect related to Kṛṣṇa? He is the power behind it. Simple. So this
one
is
more
just
shloka.
English. What is it?
One more shloka here. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto. There also is very clear.
Correct. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvaihi ahameva vedya vedanta-krit vedavideva chaham. That is very powerful, 15th adhyaya shloka. Yes. So, oops, what happened to this? See, here he says, those who know the truth will get unwavering bhakti yoga. There is no doubt about it. This is what is the last. And apparently, I didn't prepare anything more. I wanted to prepare more. It is already 24 slides. Unfortunately, I want to get to a point. Excuse me for this. When I went through my grandfather's work, I could not complete it. So I had half a mind today to cancel the class because I didn't come to a position where I can make full sense of what my grandfather was trying to say. I haven't made it yet. Why don't we do one thing? Keep this in your mind. We'll continue. Anyway, just the background for my grandfather's views has taken us almost an hour plus. So let's leave it at that. Sorry if I have not answered any questions or cut short any particular conversation because I had to keep it in a particular.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
No, one point I have to tell, the analysis of your grandfather is very, very nice. It's very genuine and it's very reasonable.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
From the yoga point of view.
Sometimes I don't understand what he's talking about. That is where I get into deep trouble. So it needs a lot of work on my part to understand what he's trying.
Some analysis.
Yeah.
With calm mind, they have
it's
to.
very hard to remember what he told me. Yeah. For me, it is very hard to remember what he told me 45 years back or something. Right?
My request is, Kṛṣṇa ji, my request is when you have the confusion, transfer the confusion also to us so that we can also think.
I'm afraid of it.
No, that is okay. See, we are, because we want to know the confusion.
Okay.
We will be helpful.
Yeah, try that. Because we want to know the difference so that we can have our own thinking. We are not expecting a conclusion from you because it is very hard. We have to reach our own conclusion. So transfer the confusion to us because we ourselves don't know the confusion itself, right?
True.
And that's my problem. Only when we start with the confusion, then we can try to get the answer. For people like me, I don't even get the question. Forget about the answer. So, if you try to transfer it,
good thing you mentioned. I will definitely give you the confusion. What my confusion was, see, Śaṅkarācārya says, Pretya small loka damrita bhavanti, right? That is, we went here. One second. Wait a minute. This is the one. Oh, here. This, are you seeing my thing? Are you seeing my screen?
Yes. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. See, if you look at it, the question is Atimucya, right? Here, what is this transcending? Śaṅkarācārya takes it as going away from your wrong knowledge that you are thinking that your senses and mind are Ātman. So, but that is not indicated in the original verse. So my grandfather is saying this Atimucya should mean something else. And he goes back to the Bhagavad Gītā and he tries to get the meaning of this Atimucya through the Bhagavad Gītā. And that is why he's building his, argument by building the support. One thing he says that Atimucya should involve divine support because all the source of our knowledge comes from Kṛṣṇa within. Okay, so there is a dependence here, and Atimucya means something else. Atimucya has to be different from our ordinary experience of the world, which is the phenomenal experience. Phenomenal is only sense and mind related experience. Correct. And even the lower intellect, Jñāna, the Buddhi is lower intellect. So the lower intellect will, Buddhi is also materially influenced. So what is this? So you have to go beyond the ordinary intellect, and that is what Atimucya means. And he builds some more logic in his next few pages to say what exactly this Atimucya means. That's his problem.
I kind of agree with that. So what is the difference? Why, what you don't see? I agree with that view. But what is Śaṅkara is trying to say, what your grandfather is not agreeing?
Śaṅkara is saying Atimucya means the transcending is not explained here properly. You see what it says that here Śaṅkarācārya is saying Atimucya Shrotrādi Atma Bhavam Parityajya. You focus on only this. I wish, hold on a second. Just hold on a second. I will change something here. Ooh, 1 second. Stop share. 1 second. Let me show you, because I need to go to that. See, Śaṅkarācārya, can you see my thing here? I highlighted it so that people can clearly see what I'm talking about. Atimucya here means for Śaṅkarācārya, Shrotrādi Atma Bhavam Parityajya. That means people are thinking mind is Ātman. People are thinking ear is Ātman. People are thinking eyes are Ātman. That is wrong. And you need to give up that wrong knowledge. And and know that Ātman is the truth thing behind it, right? So this giving up, Atimucya, he takes it as giving up wrong knowledge.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
For my grandfather, Atimucya means transcending the knowledge coming from the sense and mind.
Yeah.
Clearly, they are different.
Yeah. I see the difference. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for your opening.
Can I tell something?
Sure. 1 second. Just give me a second, because I'm just looking at some texts are coming in. Some people are texting. I don't know what Ātman is self-effulgent. All sensory objects depend on Ātman. Instead of focusing on ear, let me Ātman take care of the knowledge. Okay, I don't understand what Koile said here properly. Okay, so the thing is, it doesn't matter. We'll figure that out later. Go ahead, Mami.
Here, Atimucya Jñātva, because Sanskrit meaning Śaṅkarācārya also knows very well. So Atimucya Shrotrādi Atma Bhavam Parityajya means when you transcend, you are giving up that idea, no? Naturally. He is also not wrong. He has expressed correctly. Atimucya Jñātva. Transcending, you should know. That means what you have understood.
Where is your Atimucya Jñātva here?
Jñātva Atimucya iti. It is in this text only. Jñātva Atimucya iti samarthyat. Atimucya Jñātva. You have to do Anvaya. Atimucya Jñātva.
No.
Atimucya nahi.
No.
Atimucya Jñātva.
Let me try to attack you. I'm not attacking because I dislike Śaṅkara Bhāṣya here. I'm trying to give you some Sanskrit issue.
Okay, attack.
Okay? Jñātva. With what dhatu and Jñā dhatu, can you take Atimucya from Jñā dhatu somewhere? Can you derive Atimucya from Jñā dhatu?
No, they are two separate words in a sentence. You have to do Anvaya. Anvaya prakarena Jñātavyam. Atimucya Jñātva. Atimucya means you have to transcend first and then Jñātva. You have to transcend.
The word Jñātva is not there in your... 1 second. The Jñātva is not there in Kena Upaniṣad. Shrotasya shrotam.
No. In the explanation what you have written, I said that. So
this explanation is Śaṅkara Bhāṣya.
That Śaṅkara Bhāṣya itself I am explaining.
That's what I'm saying. The word Jñātva. No. The word Jñātva is not derivable from the original. That is my grandfather's attack. My grandfather saying Atimucya, you should not take it as Jñātva. Atimucya is transcending. Transcending what? Transcending what you know through senses.
Without knowing, how can you transcend? What to transcend? How to transcend? When you know only, then you can transcend. No. Without knowing, ignorant person cannot transcend anything in knowledge. When you know the limitations of everything, then you transcend. There must be something more. So Atimucya Jñātva, that explanation given by Śaṅkarācārya, you cannot attack so easily.
Hold on. See, that is true. Jñātva means you know something so that you can transcend. That is agree, right? Jñātva means you need to know something.
Atimucya Jñātva. No, everybody knows. No, everybody commonly knows something. But you have to transcend even.
No. I disagree with you 100%. Śaṅkarācārya in his original said Jñātva Atimucya. Jñātva means Atimucya. Not Atimucya Jñātva. Atimucya Jñātva was never Śaṅkarācārya's idea. Not in his work. Atimucya doesn't come further first. Jñātva Atimucya.
No, I know, but grammatically you have to understand the sentence, you have to understand putting it in Anvaya.
You know one thing? I will stop share and show you the Śaṅkara Bhāṣya original as it is, and you will know what it is.
It's all right, no problem.
No, I will show you. I'm not going to give up. I will show you this. Share. Look at this. We'll go from the very beginning, right? It will take a while because there's a lot of Bhāṣya here. You can see my screen, right? There's a lot of Bhāṣya before that.
I'm seeing.
We have to read the complete Bhāṣya, right? Shrotradyeva sarvasya atmabodham jedrumit prasidham. See, we need to go look. It will take a lot more time to analyze Śaṅkara Bhāṣya here. Okay. So what I can tell you is Jñātva Atimucya iti samarthyate Shrotradikarana kalapam ujjitva Shrotrado hi atmabhavam kritva tadupadihi sanne tadatmana jayate mriyate samsariti cha. See, we read this. Why don't we do it? Let us take this as a homework. I will read this, and you will read, and we will exchange notes next time. Then we will figure it out. Okay?
Okay. No problem.
Because it's too much, and good that we are going deeper. This discussion is very valuable even for me, right? I might make mistakes in understanding.
But what your grandfather has wrote is 100%. It's agreeable, it's valid and convincing.
Okay. Let us see. See, I want to be totally convinced after I finish this Kena Upaniṣad Bhāṣya completely. And then we will talk about
but as it is.
Very interesting.
Okay. All right. Koile wrote something I don't understand. I need to talk. Only when you have discussion, I can understand. Writing on the text will not help me. Koile ji, you need to talk to me. Okay, now I cannot say text and answer because I will not understand what text.
That is true. That's true.
Okay, this conversation, you have to have conversation. I may be wrong, you may be wrong, anybody may be wrong, but we still communicate to make some sense. That is why the Upanishad says, Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahi. So, Mavid Vishavahai, it clearly says, let us not hate each other. We are learning from.
That's true.
We might have disagreement. That is the nature of human beings, right? And I may be wrong. I apologize if I'm wrong and too confident.
No, not like that. That's what I felt. That's only I said. I'm not telling that I'm 100% correct.
Okay, why don't we do one thing? Let us see Śaṅkara Bhāṣya very clearly. I will read Śaṅkara Bhāṣya there very clearly before committing to our understanding what Sampathanga said about it. Okay, then we'll stop here. It's getting too late now for me. I have to do a lot of work.
The second word about our grandfather, but only about Śaṅkarācārya's comment is what I felt. I can do Anvaya like this and then understand. Because Śaṅkara, we are not seeing Śaṅkarācārya now.
No, I want to independently read. There is a Kannada version of a very reliable person, Sachidanandendra Saraswati. Is a very powerful person. He even gives footnotes. Unfortunately, the Smarta people do not like him. Because he has got one major Mula Vidya controversy he holds, and other people do not like him. But somehow his Kannada book is very good. I want to see what he says, and then we'll figure it out. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Asmat Sarvaguru Namaha, Shri Kṛṣṇa Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Nrsimha Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane Namaha, Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. I hope going deeper like this of some value to everybody. Some people may get very bored because we are going deeper into the Sanskrit and all.
It's very interesting.
Hope it is okay.
Yeah, it's very interesting for people like me because all of you are really knowledgeable and this argument is really helpful for us.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Thank you very much. Namaste,
Namaskar.
everyone.
Namaskar.
Thank you so much.
Namaskar.